Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear workshop. Before we get things going, I want to thank Mr. Bob for subscribing. I want to thank Harold for hosting. I want to apologize if you tuned in a couple minutes ago and you've got to refresh your stream. I'm going to write refresh here in the chat. If you're watching later on YouTube, you didn't have any problems. But if you're watching this live, hello, Ultron. I went live with some technical issues, which sucks. We're going to wait a few moments, see if a few more folks want to join us. Hello, Harold. Happy to have you here. But yeah, drop frames. I don't know what's going on. Didn't have any issues on Tuesday, which was nice. But yeah, ran into an issue today. Hopefully it will not continue. Thanks everybody for joining me. It's Thursday night. We're going to build a model kit. We've got the Gundam Kimaris Trooper from Iron Blooded Orphans. This is a cool kit. This is the Trooper version, which means it is the modified version of the Kimaris that is meant for land combat instead of space combat. So it has a alt mode that is nonsense. It's not much of a transforming mode, but when we get there, it becomes its own mount in a way, and I love that. I think it's so great. And then we built the Vidar in the past, and the Vidar is just a modified version of this kit in the future. He's got a hover mode. Yes, it's like the hover. It's this weird thing where he has like a lance. It's got a lance and a shield. It's kind of got a little bit of a knight thing, which, you know, Asmo, hello, welcome. Not too unusual for yeah, I mean, it's a little tall geese in a way, in that it is taking inspiration from Knights of the Round. As Mr. Bob puts, a jousting Gundam. Yes, indeed. All right, we got everybody in chat right now is a VIP, which is rad. We're going to wait another minute or two before we get going, but I'm excited to build this kit. You know, we did some Lego in a row. We did three Overwatch kits, including Bastion. Bastion and Diva and Reinhardt. So it's nice to get back into some building. This is part of the Board Ming series of model kits and the like that he purchased for me to build. It kind of lines up with IBO as they focus more on physical weapons like swords and maces. Totally, Mr. Bob. This kit has a lance and it has a nut and a sword and a shield. Like, one of the descriptions I remember reading about this was that it's not meant for turning radius, it's meant for charging, which feels pretty appropriate. So that it basically becomes a four-legged mode and has its own, like, spiderish legs so that it can, like, I don't know, be its own horse, I guess. And then its crown is like a unicorn horn. Hello, Road. Happy to have you here, Road. Yeah, we got some great folks here in the Bear Cave. People throwing the Bear Cave emote in there. I'm going to throw the Bear Cave emote in the Lego emote. Harold just donated 15 bits, bringing Harold back to the #1 spot, the cheer spot for #1. Road says, I'm going to go see Captain Marvel in a bit, so I won't be staying long, but hope you have a great stream. Well, thank you, Road. I appreciate that. It has some pretty legit fights, even to transform are ridiculous. Totally. Jam is here. Hey, Jam, please check your whispers. I sent you a message the other day, so please check your whispers. You don't need to respond during the stream, but please check that, because I did send you a message, and because of a cool thing. So yeah, check your whispers. But also, hi. All right, let's get into building, because Road's going to go, so we want to get a little content in for Road before they see Captain Marvel. I'm seeing it on Saturday because I want to support Carol. I am a member of the Corps, but I also don't want to go to the movie theaters. I never want to go to a movie theater. I always would prefer to not go to the theater and instead see movies in my apartment. Road just cheered 100. Appreciate that very much, Road. Getting yourself top of the leaderboard. Thank you very much for that. Bits and cheers, always appreciated. Road says, I just discovered what bits are. Hell yeah. Bits are great. They are a great tip jar system. For me, it is certainly beneficial. It just gets me to that next payout, which is awesome, from Twitch, which will come soon, next week. I'll be seeing it as a matinee Sunday with your brother, says Ultron. Oh, that's rad. Family affair. I like that a lot. Yeah, I just bought tickets for Saturday afternoon. I'm seeing a matinee, so that way I can see it and I can spend some time with a friend who I'm going with, and then come back and set up for the stream, have dinner, and then stream. Because now I'm working 2 nights a week, so my nights are, and then at least I'm streaming 3 nights a week. I've got 2 nights where I'm doing stuff, and so at least one other night I'm trying to stream as well. So I'm almost at 4 nights a week of streaming, which is rad. Don't get me wrong, but it can eat up a lot of free time, as I'm sure you're aware. What with you being people that watch streams, you know how much time it can take up. All right, we got to do this one first. That's right. I don't like movie theaters much, but I want to see it, and I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone a bit by going to busy time. Road, I very much support that. You have my support. You're gonna have a great time because you picked. Yes, you are going outside your comfort zone, which is tricky. Like I said, I'm going in the afternoon because I don't want to deal with it. But the nice thing is that you're going to a movie that people are excited to see. Yes, there are people who aren't excited for various reasons, some reasonable, some unreasonable, if I'm going to be polite. Some of them are very unreasonable in their wishes to not see that movie. But for the most part, like, you're going to go tonight, so you're going to see it with people who have been waiting all their lives for something like this, who get so few opportunities to see it, who have loved Carol for years and were so thrilled to see this incarnation of Carol on the big screen. And I'm so happy that you get to go see it. The last movie I saw on like opening night, because I don't go opening night for anything, was I saw Attack the Block at a Thursday night midnight screening, with a bunch of people who knew what they were there to see, and it, like, the vibrations of people in their seats. They're just this incredible energy of people who were so excited about what they were about to see. I did a thing I've never done before and I've never done since. Me and two of my friends, not the whole group, but two of my friends, we went and bought tickets for the 2 a.m. screening. Or the 2:30 a.m., whatever it was. There was like a late screening, and there were still tickets available. So we saw Attack the Block back twice in a row because we were so like, holy fucking shit, this is incredible. We got to see it again, and so we saw it again. And I have never done that again. That was such a beautiful, wonderful experience. Attack the Block is a fantastic movie. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. Anyway, I'm excited to... Yeah, it was a really rad time. I'm excited to see Carol. I'll see Carol on Saturday, and I can talk on Saturday, which is great because Saturday is often when I don't have anything to say during streams, because there isn't a lot of anime that I haven't seen by the time we get to Saturday. I'm often out of conversation on any given Saturday, so I'm excited to have something to talk about. A non-spoiler chat, of course, because I am many things, but I am not a spoiler person. I fully believe that there is a time where you can converse about things, but, like, I know I'm the only person here who's watching Fairy Tail, like, the final season. I get that. I'm still not going to tell you what END means, because we found out what END means, and it's nuts. I'm not going to say it, though, because, like, what if you were like, oh, I used to watch that show, I'm going to get back into it, and you've been thinking about doing that, and then I just, like, spoiled the big goddamn thing? You'd be like, no. Like, leave that for other people. I won't be that person. Someone else will spoil things. Asmo says, I very much want to support Captain Marvel, but I feel like I'm marveled the fuck out. Asmo, I understand. I'm not gonna sit here and say like you have to. It would be cool if you saw it, but I understand being marveled out. Hooray, my computer stopped being dumb, says Lashbrook. Anyway, I'm seeing Captain Marvel tonight, but probably don't need to leave for an hour and a half. Well, Lashbrook, I'm happy you're here. You might have had to restart your stream because I had to stop my stream and restart it because I started and settings were weird. I am now in... Ever since the new OBS update, I've been trying to lock in settings. I haven't found a good write-up of it. But now I have it set to low... Like, everything is set to low latency. That, like, the thing I want most is consistency. Even if it means that I have less frames than would be... Like, not drop frames, but, like, even if the quality isn't great. Hi, Board! This is my first Marvel movie I'm seeing in theaters, says Road. Yeah, you definitely do not... That means... You are not lying to us. You don't like going to the movie theater. Hi, Board. Happy to have you here. Oh, Lashbrook, is an issue on your end. Well, I'm glad you got that sorted out and you're here in chat. I did have to stop the stream and restart it, though, so that can sometimes affect people that weren't paying attention. And they'll be like, oh, it started. Board, happy to have you here. Thank you so much for purchasing this kit. So I don't have much to say about this kit right now because, the second version of these sets is when they started... Humbau's here. Hello, Humbau. Happy to have you. The second version of the set is when they started to include... when they started calling them full mechanics. And we've built full mechanics. We've built Iron Blood Orphans. This 1/100 scale. It's not a master grade, but it's more than a no grade. And it's very fun. But the thing about this kit is that it does share a lot of the same things with some of the other kits, including the Vidar, which, as I said earlier, the Vidar is just they took components of a defeated Kimaris and remade it. So, of course, it has some things that are in common. Harold says, I'm not much of a movie theater person either. I haven't seen a movie in theater since July. Yeah, I mean, I understand. I'll tell a quick story after I say that Board says, I really liked the Hearthstone stream yesterday. Well, Board, I know what you mean. Unless you watched it on YouTube yesterday. That was Tuesday, not Wednesday. But I know what you mean, and I appreciate it. I just have to be semantical. But yeah, I rarely look on Twitch on my computer. Oh, yeah, Jam. Yes, so, yeah, send me a message. I'm glad I caught you in a stream, but yeah, that makes sense. If you're usually like, don't check that out. Days blur together. I hear you, Bored. So one of the reasons why I want to see Marvel in theaters is one, obviously Captain Marvel. I want to support that movie and the story they're telling, but also when I saw Wonder Woman in theaters. There was, I saw it in a Brooklyn theater, and I came out of it, and I very much enjoyed that movie. And I came out, and there was a big cutout, big Wonder Woman cutout, right? And there were these young ladies in line to take a photo with said cutout for post for selfies or have someone else take a photo. But it wasn't like there was like a curtain or a strip of tape or anything. They just self-regulated their own line. Instead of swarming it, they naturally composed their own line and were very like, oh, and I'll take a photo. And then if somebody like couldn't find someone to take a photo, somebody in line did it. And it was just like, it's bringing like, it really, like, I was emotional walking out of that movie. And then seeing that was just like such a lovely, wonderful moment that really encapsulates what that movie means to people. And I think a lot of it, that is true about this movie as well. Yeah, it was just a really nice moment. And I'm excited for Captain Marvel. I think it's rad. Uh, I'm excited that it's, in theaters. I bought my ticket already. Excited to go see it on Saturday. Um, yeah, it is a thing where, like, yeah, like, I didn't go to see um, Lego Movie 2 in theaters. Now, I've heard, that it's fine. But I still, was thinking about going, and then I just didn't go, and I probably won't because I just don't go to movie theaters that often. Um, the whole planning thing, and also, I don't have Movie Pass or anything because I don't like going to see movies in theater, which means that movies are incredibly expensive, and then you add snacks, and you add, and all of that. Like, hey, when it gets really hot in New York, going to a movie is pretty great. When it is not hot in New York, going to a movie doesn't mean as much to me. When it's just like, whatever, I'm not really worried about it. Because movie theater air conditioners are still some of the best air conditioners, like, in New York. So, yeah, I'll get those if I can. I feel like I've built this internal dozens of times before. The difference in this case in particular is that it's purple, and it's a very striking, awesome looking purple. So I'm enjoying that. But yeah, overall, nothing much to say about this kit so far. This purple is great. The silver is fantastic. This kit I definitely put on my list, in large part because I like doing the Iron Blooded Orphans kits. I like these full mechanics kits because you build the whole skeleton, and they're kind of interesting. But also, I like a purple kit. Great. All right, so we got that going in there. Snap that in. That's like the trickiest part of this kit, is getting those things lined up right. And then we're going to put some of the pieces here to fit in to attach our shoulders. We're going to have a bunch of stickers coming up too. That I was not surprised about, but I was like, oh shit, there's a lot of stickers. Basically, instead of the chest piece being silver, we're just going to cover the chest piece with a big silver sticker. All our stickers are silver, so we got a big one coming up in a moment or two. But yeah, these kits go together pretty smoothly. So I'm going to build the two shoulder things here. Not too hard to build these. That, like that. And they're basically identical. If there's anything you want to chat about, feel free to throw that in the chat. Always like talking with y'all about what's going on. A reminder that if you have Twitch Prime and that's how you support me, that's incredible. You have to manually renew that on your own. We had the drop off that I knew was coming since January. A few people jumped in and supported the stream because I had announced that I was going to I was going to be unemployed. So people stepped up, which is great. And that's kind of settled back down to the normal number, which is fine. But, it was nice when we had 69 subscribers. That was a very nice feeling. I'd love to get back up past 40. We're at 39 right now. I would love to beef that up a little bit. YWin asks, anything you're particularly looking forward to at PAX East? So, PAX is an odd thing for me now because we have the League of Heels has a table in Bandland, and I opt to be at that table pretty much the entire convention. I will find time to slip away, but I am there pretty often, so it is a show that I work now. So it does make it a little different. Harold says 3 weeks. Yes, 3 weeks. I got to make sure that I have a merch phone call to make tomorrow. Speaking of merch. But yeah, so it is a different vibe now. Instead of when I had panels to run, that's still work, but it didn't feel like a job. Whereas now PAX does feel like fully a job. So it is a little different. So, if I didn't have the table, I'd go to Waypoint's panel. I'd go to Polygon show panel. I'd go, and I'd see a bunch of things. Now, if it's during the day, I kind of don't want to leave the table. If I have enough help, maybe I can slip into something and go do something else if there are people around, but it's a little different. I'm mostly looking forward to seeing friends. I do want to try to play Disco Asylum. Wait, is that the name of the company or the game? I'm looking. Ywin just subscribed at Tier 1. Thank you so much, Ywin. That's fantastic. You just bumped us up to 40 subscribers. That rules. Yeah, please throw the Bear Cave emote in there. We're throwing it in there. I can't stand non-round numbers. Yay for 40. Indeed. Thank you very much. That rules. I appreciate it. Yeah, I gotta look up this. What? My friend Emmy. Ugly Machine on Twitter. Emmy Slicer, who is just an incredible person. Yes, is producing for Studio Zom. And Studio Zom is making a isometric RPG mixed with hard-boiled, like, detective kind of, like, cop show. It's called Disco Asylum, and I really want to play that because Emmy rules. And yeah, Disco Asylum. Or is it Disco Elysium? Am I wrong? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I read it the way I wanted to see it. It is. It's not Asylum. It's Elysium. You're right. I looked it up. Disco Elysium. Disco Elysium. I want to try to play that because that seems cool. Asmo was right. Yes. It looks very cool. And as I said, my friend Emmy is working for Studio Zam, so Emmy knows what's up, and Emmy knows what's good. So that is enough for me. So yeah, I'm looking forward to checking that out. Old school RPGs aren't really my thing. Detective angle, get me into it. Yeah, Road. I mean, you never know. So I'm interested in taking a look at that. Like I said, I'm not going to really be able to play a lot at PAX. I'm mostly excited to see my friends. Like, that is honestly the best thing about having a table. Having booth space at PAX means that I can be like, oh, hey, stop by Bandland on your way out or your way in. Like, oh, if you're on a break and you're leaving and you're going out the main door, stop by. Okay, so I don't know why this is not. Stop by on your way out and say hi. Like being able to do that rules and be able to say that. So hopefully it means I'll be able to see a bunch of people I want to see. Okay, so I don't know why this isn't fitting in. So I have to take this apart some here. So we will do that. Which is annoying. But this should come back together pretty easily once I figure out what I did wrong. But yeah, this piece, okay. Oh, looks like I put this on backwards. That will do it every time. So I'm going to try to separate this without having to disassemble everything. I mean, it's not easy, but yeah, I just put this on wrong. How about says, yeah, really looking forward to it. Indeed. That game looks rad as hell at PAX West, and excited some of the voice actors are from the podcast I'm also fond of. As well, that rules. Yeah, I don't get to play a lot of games at PAX these days, like I said, because I am working on things, but I am excited to try to play a few things here and there. Okay, so let's see what I did wrong here. This has got to go. Yes, I put this in wrong, which meant that the shoulder piece couldn't go in. So now I have to rebuild everything. and try to reassemble it correctly. And it shouldn't be too much of a problem. But it will be somewhat of a problem because... Alright, so that's going to go like that. This is going to go... You know, it is important to take your time when you're working on stuff like this, and I didn't because I've built most of these pieces before. So that just goes to show how important it is to take your time when you are working on these kind of kits. Even if you're very used to it, even if you did the steps already and you're like, this is a no-brainer, I know exactly how this goes, it's still good to take a moment, make sure you're doing the right way. Yeah, so mostly PAX is, I love putting on panels, so I'm excited for my 2 panels, and I'm excited to see people that I have not seen in a while. So those are honestly the things that I, Sean Baptiste I haven't seen in a bit, so I'm excited to see Sean, and hopefully I'll have a chance to actually talk to Kate Welch, because I didn't get a chance to talk to Kate at Unplugged because she was very busy. So hopefully I'll get a chance to say hi to her. Just like, yeah, there's just like a bunch of people that I know and love that hopefully I will find the time to see at PAX. Oops. All right. So where does this go? Okay, this goes like that. This goes... There it is. Okay. All right, great. So I have just about fixed my mistake here. And then I just have to put this back on, and we will be right where we left off, which is good. Time for stickers. But yeah, there are folks here in New York I just don't see. Like the Waypoint crew, whoever the Waypoint crew is going to go up, I'll hopefully be able to see some of them. I know I'm going to have a chance to see Pat Gill, who I haven't seen in a while. Last time I saw Pat Gill, he was finishing up his shift for the Giant Bomb live stream, the charity, and I was coming in, and we just had like a hug as we switched spots. I have not seen him since, so I would like to see him. But yeah, and perform. Could do a cool show. Do 2 cool shows. Improvised Postmortem's looking good. The lineup is very solid. Got some great people who have agreed to be in that, so that's going to be cool. And just tell people about our silly thing that we do. Always excited to share. There's always someone at PAX. Every PAX we've done since we started, we did 3 tables. Each and every time, we just had multiple people who came up just being like, wait, what is this thing I'm going to be really into? Like, wait, there's wrestling? What? And just like, it's always really fun. And I can be like, yes, come check us out. Because I think we did a bad job in the past of explaining in the program or on the app what our show is, and I've strived to do better. I don't know if I'm succeeding, but I have strived to do better. Okay, I'm going to bounce again. Have a nice streamer one. Road, you have a great time at that movie. Enjoy it. I'm going to throw the Bear Cave emote in there. Road, constant joy to have here in the chat. Have a great time. Okay, so this sticker. Here's the idea of the sticker is we're going to put it on here and then fold it around. So I could try to line up these holes here in the middle. Also, I guess I should poke out these holes, these pieces there. I'm going to poke these out, these grates out, and then I'll show you how I think you should apply these stickers here. Okay, yeah, so there's a grate here, so we want to take out the middle ones. The hope is they wouldn't have come with it when you pulled it off of the sheet, but they did. So you kind of just put them through. put them down there, and then I'll clean them up in a second. So, here's how I want to do this. So the grate is going to match with the grating. But actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the overhang piece. One of the overhang pieces. And then bend it down. Try to get this lined up right with the grates that's in the actual plastic. And then bend it down from there. Bend it down from there. And then bend it down. And then I'm going to use my my tool here, my sponger, to just kind of flatten it all out and make it look less like a sticker. All right. I'm not unhappy with that. You can see that in there, and then yeah, I'm not unhappy with how that looks. That lined up pretty well. And then I'll just sweep these off the table so they don't get stuck to other things. And I'll get them later. Hooray. They'll just be on the bottom of my shoe at some point, I'm sure. Okay, so that's our body. Our body is done once we attach this piece, which I'm going to right now. Which just goes in. Okay. Oh, gotta clamp these together a little bit here. Just go like that. And then this goes in. That. Great. Alright, so that's our chest, basically. I mean, there's probably a few more things that'll get added to it, but for the most part, that's done. And now we can work on the head. Very shiny, says Ultron. Yes, indeed. This does make it look pretty shiny. So one of the things about the Full Mechanics line, which is, is retroactive, they named the second part of the series of kits that it's not what they call this, but it is basically what it is. So I do often call it the Full Mechanics. This style is, we're building the whole skeleton. You can see that in here. We're going to build the whole skeleton, and then we're going to build armor around it and over it. So the head is actually just 4 pieces, which is like the least amount of pieces you're going to find on a model kit. But it makes sense once you look at it, because there's a bunch of pieces we're going to add later. So right now we're just adding, oh, this is E2. I need E1. Right now we're just adding a couple pieces here, and then we'll add more later when we do the whole armor. This head, I always liked the head of this kit, Kimaris, because it does have a night theme, so it really truly does feel like a jousting, like a jouster. Like when we add this stuff here, you can see it really does pop. And then our only gold in the kit, because hey, it's still a Gundam. It's got to have some gold. Got to have a little bit of gold. It's pretty much a requirement. And the nice thing is, if anything goes weird with our kit here, in the building of our kit, there are a lot of like pieces. In fact, there's a few pieces in this kit that are part of the other Kimaris set that are just this share sheet. So there are a few duplicates here and there, which is kind of nice. All right. Oh yeah. It's got a little bit of like a bug feature here, a little bit. See that? But that's our head. That's the shell of our head so far. There'll be more to it once you add the armor, but right now that's what it looks like. It's just an end piece there. So yeah, that's it. We can move on. And we can start working on our arm, which we're doing a lot of 2 of. Let's see, 2. Santini just subscribed with Twitch Prime. That's 4 months in a row. A 4-month streak. Hello from bad internet at a Disney resort. Santini, thank you for joining me. I hope that your bad internet isn't too bad. I mean, I guess that makes sense if you're at Disney, the idea is that it's like, why do you need good streaming internet? Shout out to bad internet. All right. Yeah, we started with a little bad internet here too, so I don't mind that. Uh, but yeah, thank you Satini for renewing. I haven't finished IBO, but I feel like the idea of all the guns being several-year-old relics. Yeah, I mean, like some of them are classic, and like the Vidar like is the remake, and the I do like that they're like, hey, have a big weapon because we found this construction gear and we're going to modify it to be a weapon because we can't afford lasers, There's a lot of like, this was a construction piece and now we're using it for our terrorism, basically. There's something interesting about it. I have a steak, said Mr. Bob. Well, Mr. Bob, I hope you enjoy that steak. That sounds cool. That's very good. Good for you, my friend. Enjoy your steak. I had, I'm gonna brag a little bit. It's a weird thing to brag about, but I have perfected my cauliflower mash. Now, they're not fake mashed potatoes. If you ate them, you wouldn't go, mashed potatoes. But you would go, that's really fucking good. Harold says, good night, everyone. Catch you all later. Harold, have a great night. Thanks for staying up so late and hanging out with us. I know you got work tomorrow, so appreciate you spending some time with us. So, here's what I do. I got this reduced cauliflower, kind of boiling it, parboiling it before I then bake it with with garlic and with some butter, and not too much butter, but a little bit of butter, and then blending it with garlic salt and a little bit of Parmesan cheese to help thicken it, and very little water. Only water if the cauliflower happened to be a little drier than it, for everything to come together. And then I've been adding fresh peas and diced chicken, and then mixing it all together, and then kind of baking it in a casserole dish and making almost like a shepherd, it's not a shepherd's pie, it's not a chicken pot pie. But it is really good, and it's so much vegetable because I'm like, instead of my starch, instead of my potato, I'm eating cauliflower. So I had that and a side salad today for dinner, and I am stuffed. It was so good. And also, because like a lot of my diet right now has been eating salads, just having something like substantial like in my gut, just eating something like has been really good because it just like really hits the spot. Like it feels like mashed potatoes like in my stomach, and I'm been very cool about. I've been very into that. It's been a really good experience. Let's see. 29. Okay. All right, so I got to build this here, working on the arm. Once I do it once, I'll do it again because they're identical, but I want to make sure that I'm doing them accurately. So just going to take my time with it. Make sure I do everything right. But yeah, it's a really solid dish. It doesn't take too long to prep. I'm getting really good results with it, so I'm excited about that. And like I said, it's just after having so many salads, it's nice to change things up and feel like I'm eating something heavy. I've certainly been cheating on my diet, and I'm trying not to, but I've been stress eating because that is my major vice. So I'm trying not to do that, right? That's just where we're at. That's the hope anyway, is that I can avoid stress eating and just, lose some weight. I had gained a little bit of weight, and then I dropped what I gained, back down, which is I'm happy about. But I still have more to do. Certainly not done. But we'll see if I can. We'll see if I can keep losing some weight. That's the goal anyway. Just gotta have I just want my sports jacket to feel good at PAX. Because I've been wearing the same one for a few years. And I'll say at PAX Unplugged, it didn't fit as well as it has in the past. And I had just started to lose a little bit of weight then. So hopefully for East, and just drop a couple more lbs, a couple more pounds would be good. Not trying to do anything unbelievable or anything, but I'm not here to drop a dramatic amount of weight. Humbow says, keep it up, Pat. Once people start noticing, it never gets old. Yeah, I didn't put up my results. I haven't put my results up for a little while, but every once in a while I'll put something up. It was nice to be like, oh, first week without a job, and I didn't gain a ton of weight. And then the next week I gained the weight that I hadn't then. Took a week. But I was expecting it, right? Like, I'm just not leaving his home as much. So that's a lot. And I'm eating dinner at home, and sometimes I'm looking for an excuse to go out, and that excuse to leave the house is to go get something to eat, and that's not a good reason to go out and leave the house, but that's the reason I've got, and that's not great. So I'm trying to not do that as much. Trying to eat healthier, snack healthier if I can. All the stuff that I know I should be doing. Ultron asks, here's a question. In Iron-Blooded Orphans, do they remark on the fact that the waists of all these mechs are totally exposed and vulnerable? Lasper says, not as far as I've seen. There are some armored to the nines mechs in there. Yes. So some of these really do have exposures because they are not meant for battle. They are modified for battle. So that is a conversation a little bit, but mostly it's just, this is a cool design. Like, really, the biggest fatal flaw in Gundam, when they talk about mech's fatal flaws, are often the pilot are the fatal flaw. Humanity is the fatal flaw. Or not enough of a new type. Or still figuring out what it means to be a new type. Or this kit is filled with someone who lost their legs in war. And they're hooking their brain up to it. But it is often, they often don't focus on, hey, this seems like poor design. That's not necessarily a consideration. I'm not seeing it, but I stand on rectifying that. So Ultron, I think Iron-Blooded Orphans is good. It is a dark show. It is a lot. It is a heavy show. I would still recommend it because I think it's good. I think the designs are really good. I think the story it tells are great. There are some heavy, hard episodes to watch, and so it can be a tough one, but I do enjoy it. Iron-Blooded Orphans is all about horrifying surgery that helps you pilot Gundams. Yeah, I mean, like, also the surgery can only be performed on children. Yeah, I mean, the name of the show is Iron-Blooded Orphans, and it's a Gundam show about orphans. So, yeah, it is fucking rough and hard and a tough one. It's a tough one. I still really enjoy it. That is not saying don't watch it. Just know what you're watching. Yikes, says Ultron. Yeah. Yeah, yikes is that's a good choice of words. It can be pretty yikes. I still think it's totally worth watching. But I can understand. I would not hold against anyone that was like, "Hey, I stopped watching that show because I couldn't." Even the first episode was rough. I mean, yeah. I mean, they have to start. I applaud them for starting off rough. Yeah, because I think you need to start off rough to set the tone. I think the tone is important to set. I think there's too many shows out there, anime that are about war or anime that are about action shows that like give you the best case scenario of like what this world could be, and then give you the reality of what this show is going to be about. And I'm not as interested in that as I am other things that they can do. So I kind of like when shows are like, hey, this is going to be a rough one. You can get out now if you want. Like the first episode of Goblin Slayer is so fucking rough that people were like, hey, what the fuck? And they were totally right to be like, hey, what the fuck? And while that show is also somehow a harem show, don't know how that fucking happened, it doesn't shy away from its brutality, but you get it immediately. You're like, okay, this is not another, like, RPG, fantasy, slaying show. Yeah, I couldn't finish reading the first volume of Goblin Slayer. Yeah, I mean, I watched the whole the whole season. I don't know if it's the first season. I don't know if they're gonna keep making that show. I watched the whole first one. I went back to it. I had watched it and then stopped. I think I stopped at episode 2 or 3 and then went back and finished it because I was interested in some of the world building. Like I said, there's some interesting things like you don't know anybody's names. There's like Cowgirl is the name of the farmer's daughter and like or niece, and everyone's gonna like Goblin Slayer is like the title he was given. It's not his name. Nobody knows his name, or if they do, they don't have them. And it's like there's some interesting lore stuff in that show. In the same way that like, yeah, it makes sense to me that there's a show where they talk about how it's not the big giant monsters you have to worry about. It's a lot of the small ones that like a ton of goblins is the thing you need to be worried about. Which you know, I think is a cool premise. But it's also fucking brutal. And seems to revel in its brutality. In the way that I did not enjoy particularly. Hello, Urban Buddha. Happy to have you here. Thanks for stopping in to the old Bill with Baer workshop. We're going to take a break in a couple minutes here, and we'll finish the arms up, get the hands done here, and then we'll take a brief pause for the cause, as they say. Do my hey, here's the ways to support the stream pitch. But right now, we got to finish the Kimaris Trooper, the land modification of this kit. We got to add some hands here. But yeah, we're building the whole inner frame, so even the arms, like it says it's done, the arms aren't really done. It's just we're only going to build the, we're only going to add the outer hands here. And of course there are other hands you can put on later, but like these hands here, you can see the space that's meant for the armor. You can see it right there, that these don't have, that we're not going to attach the armor part to it. Because we just got to put the arms on, or the hands on. Goes in like this. Oops, oh no. Got to remind myself that that is not a particularly locked in place. The chest piece could pop off pretty easily, it looks like. So I'll be wary of that. But yeah, thanks so much for joining me tonight, folks. I'm about to talk about ways you can support the stream. First and foremost, we did have some bits and some coins, or bits and cheers. Bits and cheers are always appreciated. They allow me to keep doing the fun stuff that I do here. Get me closer to my payoffs. If you're not currently following, consider giving me a follow. Turn your notifications on so you know when I go live. That's a huge way. All right, we're done with the sheet. Huge way to support me here on the Build with Baer workshop. Become a subscriber. You can use your Twitch coin if you want. You can spend, use your tiers and spend your actual physical money, or you can use your coin if you link your Amazon Prime with your Twitch. You get Twitch Prime. You can get some free games as long as you're a Twitch Prime member. It's you still have to watch. You have to watch ads again. You used to not have to watch ads. Now you do. That sucks, but there's still plenty of cool things with doing that. And you use your Twitch coin on me. I also have a Patreon, which I would love it if you considered supporting me on Patreon. If Twitch isn't the way you want to throw your dollars down, I do get a bigger cut on Patreon, but I like seeing the numbers go up everywhere. I had a new goal this week. This week, I added a new goal to Patreon. I'm trying to hit $200, which would justify enough for me to upgrade my internet here, which would open up more doors for different streaming times. Because right now, I got to stream at night, kind of between 9 till whenever, if not a little later than 9. And I'd like to be able to stream in the afternoon once in a while. That's 9 p.m. Eastern, obviously. I'd like to be able to do some stuff for folks that aren't available to watch now. We had somebody watch last night who lives in Australia, and they were able to stay up or watch early because of their work schedule because they were on vacation, which is rad. I also have an Amazon wish list, and this kit was purchased by Board Ming. He bought several kits. I'm going to put the link in there, and then I'm going to look at it. Of course, this is all in the show description on YouTube if you're watching after the fact. But I'm going to paste and go and look at my list here. We've got the Full Metal Panic Invisible Victory. I've never built anything from Full Metal Panic. I've barely watched that show, but that kit looks cool, and that's a big old weapon. I like building those. That's got Amazon Prime shipping on it. There's the Gundam 00 with the cool wings. Some papercraft stuff that's dropped in some price, which is cool. Super Saiyan 3 Goku is on Prime shipping right now, is for $30, which is a good price for that kit. And anything, if you buy something on my wish list, I buy it. I'll build it when I get it in, and it jumps the line because I've got a ton of kits. In fact, tomorrow my $10 Patreon supporters are going to be able to start voting on what kit I build after this, because this will be a pretty quick build. This shouldn't take too long to do. So what I build after this is up to my $10 Patreon supporters. And then I also have a coffee, and that's just for like one-time donations. If that's something you'd like to do, feel free to throw $1 or $2 that way. And anything I make, hello Gallows Adler, welcome. We're about to get back to building in just a moment. But yeah, anything I make through Patreon, Twitch, my coffee, all goes into me buying model kits to build on stream. Because unlike people, hey, Apex streamers, that's fucking rules. I wish I was good enough at Apex and could command that to actually do that on a stream. That's not happening. But that's awesome for them. They didn't buy that game. That's a free game for them. Me, I got to buy model kits to build. Makes sense. All right, let me take a sip of water, then we'll get back into, and we'll start working on the waist of our kit here as we finish the top half. All right. Let's get back into building here. We need E and D are the things that we need to get in there. 1 and D. We're working on the waist here. Yeah, I mean, this kit is pretty straightforward in design. It's a lot like the other Iron Blood Orphans kits. We're going to build a whole skeleton. It'll be able to stand up on its own, and then we'll start building the armor around it. It's all pretty straightforward. There's not a lot of gimmicks. This kit does have the legs that pop out of the legs, so that'll be interesting when we get to that part. That will be pretty unique as far as kits go. The fact that this kit has like extra legs, basically, is probably the only trick of this kit. So I would compare these. There are more like non-graded 1/100 scales. They're like the RE100 almost, only they're not obviously very big. But they're probably like the RE line more than they're like a traditional set. Still very fun to build though. Don't get me wrong. I like putting together the Iron-Blooded kits. And as I said earlier, I'm a sucker for purple. Purple in a kit is a great look, so I am happy to be working on that. All right, let's put that in there. Let's make sure that we're doing this right. Lock into place here, working on our waist. Make sure that our legs have good movement here. Then E31, we gotta do that. All right, well that's 26. All right. Had a piece pop out. That happens now and again, especially with these, with the sheets that have like thick pieces in there. Sometimes that'll happen. All right, and we'll just make sure this snaps on and make sure it's cleanly connected here. Fully connected, I should say. Not cleanly, but you know what I meant. All right, that's basically the frame of our waist. We've got obviously the armor will go on it, but yeah, now we're just working on our legs. We're going to start here, working on our feet. PV parts, we got some C, and E here, so we'll get C out. C1, yep, great. And E, and D, okay. Alright, so I've got some anime to talk about. In the second half of the show, we often talk about that. We'll start with Boruto, which I hadn't watched in time for Monday's stream, so I watched it. It was fine. I mean, right now it's just like, in between major story stuff. It's kind of filler. It was focusing on one of the teams. I forget their team number, but just like somebody trying to work on their ninjutsu. And it was like a fun, supportive episode, which was kind of cool. But, mostly just like a fine, not interesting episode. Unless, it's one of your faves is in that. But not for me. And there was a dumb joke in it that they then called back to. So they bookended the episode with a not good joke. A very not good joke. So that was, I would say, annoying. I think annoying is a fine way to describe that episode of Boruto. Not super into it. Let's see, what else did I watch? Oh, Black Clover. More of a setup episode. The introduction of the villain. Once again, another villain-looking good guy. I really do enjoy that about Black Clover, that that the show is very focused on the art of some of the characters. This guy's got he's got a mask that covers his face that has he looks like a try-hard edgelord. He's got a mask with fangs and teeth on it, and a weird haircut, and he likes beating up liars and doesn't and he's been in the images. He's been in the art, the opening song for a while. So I've been interested in seeing what the fuck was up with this dude for a bit. So I'm interested in seeing what he's like as far as his fighting style. It's like, oh, okay, this dude's finally here. And then there was a fun little bit of business with one of the characters who has a crush on someone being like, what, you were hot spring? What do you mean hot spring? It's like, yeah, we went to a hot spring. He's like, what do you mean hot spring? because that is not a thing they really have in this world. And so she was just outside of the joke. It was cute. Like I said, it's another like one of those episodes like nothing really happened in this episode. It's fine. Um, I don't mind that now and again. I generally like it when fucking things happen in my anime, but whatever. Uh, Nothing really happened in either of those shows. But I know that like we're getting some battles, we're getting some fights, even though if they are like a tournament of power style thing in Black Clover. So I'm looking forward to that because that'll be something. Let's see, what else do I want to tell you about? My roommate is a cat. Um, this was a good one. So I generally prefer the episodes that are focused on Haru the cat more than Subaru the guy. But this was a good Subaru episode. It was a strong episode for him. And him, he is a author, and he's making his first ever book signing appearance. And it was like, it went as well. He's like a shut-in who doesn't deal well with crowds, and like kept freaking out that he wasn't saying thank you. But then a little kid comes up that reminds him a lot of himself and wants like a handshake. And it's a really sweet little moment. There's a bunch of really sweet little moments in My Roommate is a Cat in this one. And then also like, meanwhile, Haru the cat is kind of like trying to understand what it means to be lonely. Because her roommate, the guy who owns her, is she doesn't see it that way anyway. Obviously, not obviously, but she doesn't see it that way. But isn't home, and it's the longest he's ever not been home. So Haru kind of freaks out about it, and then doesn't understand why she's freaking out. I do recommend. I think that like there's some sadness. There's a lot of sadness in My Roommate is a Cat. It's not super light. I thought it was going to be lighter than it is, but it's still incredibly rewarding. And I'm very happy that I started watching it. I didn't know quite what I was getting myself into with it, but it is. Wait, what did I do wrong here? But it is definitely a rewarding show. So I would say My Roommate is a Cat is a show that you should be watching. Let's see. If there's anything else? Oh, so we got the introduction of a new character in what the fuck? The Rise of the Shield Hero. We got a new introduction of a character in that, and the way she got introduced, I was like, "Oh, this character is definitely important." They're acting like she's not important. Oh, they call her Melty. Well, that doesn't sound like a real name, so I bet there's something going on, and there is, and it's whatever, and who cares? They end the episode in such a like cliffhanger. Like they end it as if the anime thinks that I was gonna be like, he said what? But it's like, no, it makes sense. I mean, it's only surprising because it is the overall thing about it is an isekai, but the overall thing about Rise of the Shield Hero is this four people get summoned from our world to a fantasy world to be the four heroes, and one of them gets betrayed pretty early. It's fucked up and weird, and so he's just fucking holding a grudge. So when it's revealed that this girl that had spent a little time with him is the younger sister of the princess who betrayed him, which is all in the first episode, so I'm not spoiling anything. He's basically just like, yeah, get the fuck out of here. I'm not, I can't trust you or anything you're saying. Take off. And people were like, and it ends in such a like sting note that you're like, I guess supposed to be like, but that's a princess, and it's like, yeah, that makes sense. No, that's reasonable for this guy. He's like not having a good time and kind of sucks. Um, that's a 4 month streak, 3 month streak, 4 months of being a subscriber for BC Eagles. Thank you, BC Eagles, for that. Hello to you. Thank you for subscribing, for resubbing. That is 4 months total, 3 months in a row. Thank you for that. I really do appreciate it. Uh, as always, yeah, throw the Bear Cave emote in there. We all like it when the numbers go up. And I like it when the little information, scrolls. I like seeing those resubs. New sub as well. We have a new sub tonight in YWin, which is awesome. But yeah, new subs, resubs, all that stuff is cool. If you can't sub, I understand. Tell a friend. It's a great way to support the stream. If you know somebody that likes Lego kit building, or you like, somebody that watches anime, doesn't have anyone to talk to about it. I don't watch everything, For Saturday, I guess I'll watch the Quintessential Quintuplets episode that came out. Because I guess I'm watching that. Ugh. It's just so mediocre. Alright, we got to put some stickers on this part of the leg, so let's do that. So we need this, and we need C1 9 and C2 9. Alright, so E can go back in for a second, so we can get that going. I subbed when you hung out with us on New Year's Eve. Solid move, Pat. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Yes, that was a fun one. That New Year's Eve stream was really fun. Okay, so Humbao says, Weak Mint says, I love the Leo design, though. Good sturdy legs on those mechs. Oh, yes. Because Humbao says, I started watching Gundam Wing for the first time ever since Toonami, which I'm going to blame on you. Yep, early takeaway. Just communication is great. Waifu is super sexist, and Leos are worthless mobile suits. So here's the thing. Leos aren't super worthless. It's just that show was like, hey, in the course of this series, we are going to introduce you to 6 mobile suits that matter. One of them is just an old design, and 7 if you count Wing and Wing Zero as different suits. But like, Espeon is the only good one. Tall Geese is the only good non-Gundam in that universe. They really went out of their way to make it feel like Gundams made a difference. And I think that was important for doing a show like the story they were trying to tell. So I understand if you're like, Leos aren't that great. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's if it's a Japanese writing team writing the Chinese guy, the Hong Kong guy, as sexist, or if they were just like, well, one of these pilots needs to be kind of shitty, like, whereas Hero is shitty to everyone because he is in many ways, I mean, they're all broken, but he's broken in ways that you're like, oh, I can fix you. Whereas it's all that Gundanium armor, right? Yep. Indeed. It's they're just better designed than other mechs, because I mean the whole idea is that they built a Gundam which was better than anything that had ever been built. Tall Geese 3 was the best, and then someone went a different way, and they were like, oh, but it's got the Zero system in it, so fuck this thing. It'll never work. Alright, so this goes like this goes like that. Alright, so I gotta put some stickers on here, but I'm gonna assemble the other part first. And then we'll assemble it, and then we'll add the stickers, 'cause I think that'll be easier. Yep, so that's gonna go like that. That's where the sticker goes. She starts talking while riding a motorcycle. Yes, Humbao. He's not great. He's really not. Uh, I mean, they're all, they all have their different, all the five boys have their different problems, including, like, Troa clearly has a lot of trauma that he's just repressed. And Duo, Duo just hides behind his edgelord humor. It's not super edgelord, but he does pilot he is considered himself the Shinigami, and he's dressed like a priest so he can murder people with his scythe and be the god of death. So, Duo's compensating. Let's be real. Alright, so we gotta put stickers on both sides of this, so I'm gonna be okay with these not being perfect. If this is a master grade, these wouldn't be stickers. But it's fine. These aren't perfect, they're not perfect, and I'm okay with that. Yeah, I haven't watched Wing in a couple years. I did a rewatch not too long ago. Because I had first watched it in English, then eventually watched it in Japanese, and then watched it again. I've been trying to just watch current stuff. I am slowly going through all of Initial D, and it rules. Obviously, that show rules. So, that's been pretty cool. Watch Initial D on Hulu. Or no, Funimation. That's right, Funimation. I don't want to subscribe to... I've said this before. I really hope that it looks like Fruits Basket, the new Fruits Basket, is going to be sub and dub on Funimation, and I really do not want that to be the case. I really want it to be subbed on Crunchyroll so I don't have to get a subscription to Funimation, because I don't want to pay for another streaming subscription. I belong to so many. I'm gonna let my WWE expire after Fastlane, because I was like, you have your own issues and you have your own thoughts about, everyone has their own thoughts about wrestling, and look, I want the network because I want to support 205 Live, because I literally have someone I know that works on 205. So, like, I want to support that. But then they have Hulk Hogan at their fucking Be a Star event today, and I'm like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Don't fucking have Hulk Hogan on the same stage as Bailey. Go fuck yourself. And then more to the point, I mean, I'm just a Bailey fan, Titus O'Neil. Don't have Titus O'Neil and Hulk Hogan on the same goddamn stage. Lashbrook says, well, no time to explain, gotta go. Come April 10th, I could probably hook you up. Well, Lashbrook, let's talk. Shoot me a message. Let me know what's up. If you got a hookup to Funimation, let me know. But also, you're gonna go, so I'll talk to you soon. You're leaving me guessing, Lashbrook. But yeah, so I'm going to let my WWE expire. It does right after Fastlane, so I'll get Fastlane in, which is good. But give Titus a belt. Yeah, Titus could go with the belt. Guy can talk. They don't let him, but he can. He's got ideas. He does well. He's not the best worker in the ring, but that isn't a qualification for a belt anyway, really. Comparatively, anyway. All right, so we're almost done with our rubber pieces here. So, got to build the one leg, and then we start building the other. But yeah, I just fucking having fucking Hulk Hogan at your Be a Star, saying don't be a bully. It's like, get the fuck out of here. Who needs that shit? What's up with Titus? Oh, so I was just saying, it really pissed me off that the WWE would have a Be a Star event today with Hulk Hogan and Titus O'Neil sharing a stage. It's just like, fuck off. I mean, they have Titus there because he's really good at it. He's really good at doing the outreach stuff. He cares about it. It's something that he really clearly like has a lot of love for. But it's I remember he went to an Adult Swim thing back when Adult Swim Games had a bunch of people I knew, and everyone was just like talking about all his kids there, and like he's like, arranged so that they could come too. Just did a bunch of stuff, and it just apparently was just like very sociable and very awesome, and like really knowledgeable about what was going on, and then like also was like clearly grooming his kids to like, like it wasn't just, hey, I could take you to Adult Swim Games. They make video games. I'm a cool dad. It was like, hey, learn what I do. Come with me to work. See how I do this stuff. See how I do this thing. And I was like, that's pretty interesting. That it was like, learn how dad talks to media. It was like kind of a cool thing. But yeah, I think it just fucking sucks that like, don't have Hulk Hogan. Like, first of all, fuck you. Don't have Hulk Hogan do shit. Don't have Hulk Hogan tell people not to be a bully. That's all bullshit. Come on. Fuck this. Wrestling's a work, but they're still they're real people. Anyway. I'm gonna let my subscription expire. I hope Drew Gulak main event, main events. I hope Drew Gulak wrestles in the pre-show for the 205 title. I would love for it to be on the main event, not the main event, on the main card. That's what I was trying to say. I would love for it to be on the main card of WrestleMania. I don't think it's going to happen. I think 205 is going to be in the pre-show, and I think they're going to tear the roof off of the place. Such great talent on that show. Committed, fantastic wrestlers. As I said, I'm always going to root for Drew Gulak. He's a fantastic performer. Totally has such a strong, easy to explain, easy to understand, easy to like boo gimmick. He's just such good work in anything that he's given. And was never really a promo guy. Like on the indie scenes, like he'd do video packages and stuff to promote like big fights and stuff. But it was never like his strong suit. And he really found his niche in WWE in a way that like definitely worked. He definitely got over. And so yeah. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that he's in that match and that it's actually on the WrestleMania card. Do you walk with Elias? Asks Ultron. So, Elias is complicated. I appreciate that Elias is a heel. Even when the crowd was behind him, he stayed heel. Even when he worked with other heels for no good reason, he stayed heel. I have a lot of respect for the work that Elias does and the character he does. I think that Elias was brought up to the main roster too fucking early and is not that great of a wrestler. But Elias has set himself up to make money even when his contract ends. So I think that Elias is getting his and doing cool shit and getting to like have a little concert in New Orleans and like live the gimmick. And I really think that's awesome. But I do think that he was called up too soon and needs more. He needs to work a program with a really solid babyface. Like a really strong wrestler that can really guide him. Board says, I root for wrestlers, but I no longer want to give money to WWE against. Board, I totally understand where you're coming from, and I do agree with you. Like I said, I'm going to let my subscription lapse because I was doing it to be able to watch 205 live in NXT, and I was excited about those things, and I want to see the women's tag belts defended on NXT, and I want to support that, but it's tough to you know it's tough to support that company. They make it very clear where their interests line up, and it's not always with my interests. So yeah, it's kind of rough. All right, that is a leg done. That is basically the whole leg. So now we can put the put this piece in here. Great. That's basically our whole leg done there. Obviously no armor, because that's another thing we do. Now we can do the left leg. We need D and C again. You're a leg up on this build, says Board. Yug, 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 yug. Yeah, this is, like I said, I'm going to put a poll up tomorrow. When we finish this, we're going to build a small Lego set that Board also picked out, which is a nice tiny little one. But yeah, we will build that as well soon, and that'll be a nice little quick kit that we'll put together after this before we do the thing. Weak Mitt, I love the skeletons the IBO models are built off of. I do too. I really love this, like what they later called the full mechanics line. I love that, like, I think the Vidar had a piece that you had to take off when you actually put the helmet armor on, because they made it so that if you wanted to, you could just build the skeleton and display that, and it's so cool. I really do love that. I love that the photo I'm going to take here is just going to look so different. Usually we're like, when we build one of these kits, we're like, oh, here's the arms, and here's the arm fully done. Here's 2 arms fully done, and we did the chest today. Today we're going to be like, here's what we built on this kit. We built, like, a whole skeleton for it. Because we're going to finish this leg and the waist, like, we're on track to do that, and it's just gonna look so cool when I take my photo at the end of the stream. One thing I didn't put in when I was talking earlier, and I forgot to do that, I'm going to do that right now, is I do have a Discord. Taking a photo, I take a photo of everything I work on and put it in my Discord. Other people post stuff they're working on. They post photos of their own kits that they're building, Lego sets and such. So please consider jumping in my Discord. Yeah, I check it once a day. I post all the stuff I work on. And then, because I'm proud of it, I have my Let Pat Play series. I'm doing a new series called Uncommonwealth, where I am showing cheats and mods in Fallout 4. Because they call it the Commonwealth. So it's the Uncommonwealth. And that's a fun series. I just started the first episode I put up on Monday. I just recorded some of the second episode, and I went a little nutty with building out. Like, this isn't like a game save I'm gonna play, probably, but I went a little nutty with building up the Red Rocket. What do you call it? What word am I looking for? Anyway, my Red Rocket is I really built it up, and it's looking really cool. I don't know why I can't think of the word that I'm looking for, but you know what I mean when I talk about the different locations and you do that. But settlement, base sports head settlement. That's what I was looking for. My Red Rocket settlement is coming along, and I really built it up in a way that is very unnecessary, but I think is very cool. So, That'll be episode 2. Did a lot of decorating, and a bunch of my mods are related to that, including a mod that is just essential if you ever want to go back to Fallout 4. I got a mod that's so helpful for building that I definitely recommend. But yeah, there's a bunch of good ones in there. Alright, so we need 7, 6. Yeah, so I would recommend that. Like I said, I'm working on the second episode of that. Yesterday's background and characters is also on my YouTube page. I think that one turned out very funny. I think that's genuinely a funny one. Sometimes they're just silly images. This one is an odd image, but I think it's pretty good. And the one I recorded for next week, I'm really proud of. I think that's one of the best ones I've ever done. It will be out next Wednesday. Thursday is a day I usually... So, as we're in the season of me promoting League of Heels, I have... Thursday is the day that I record my League of Heels promo video that goes out tomorrow. It's also the day that I record next Wednesday's background and characters. And then if I haven't finished it, I'll do some filming for the next video in my series for Let Pat Play. So I have to finish that video too. But that's coming up. Alright, so we got to apply the sticker. We're almost done with stickers here. Just a little bit of silver here and there. Ooh, that went on very nice. Appreciate that. But yeah, that's what I've got going on. Working tomorrow. It's 2 shows. Really easy shift. Pretty light as far as the work I'm doing now. But happy to get out of the house and work a little bit. And then I'll say, hey, I worked Friday and Saturday, and then on Monday when they were supposed to pay me, they paid me. So already feeling pretty good about that. It's a good feeling when they're like, hey, we pay every Monday, and then lo and behold, they paid me on Monday. I was like, all right, hell yeah. Nice when that happens. Alright, let's put this together here. Oops. Alright, so I gotta be careful with this. It's already popped off here. Assemble this back together. Okay, so when this gets attached, it could go wonky. So we'll attach that to this here. And there we go. All right. Look at that, friend. Skeleton. Skeleton. Alright, we can work on some body armor. I'm actually going to blow my nose, so pardon me. I'm going to, I'll mute, and also... I don't have a proper be right back. I gotta make one of those. I didn't want you to watch me blow my nose. Sue me. Alright, let me drink a little more water here. Alright. So, let's see here. What else we gotta do? Okay, so working on the backpack here. Okay. Put a... Haven't done a lot of this. This is obviously the armor, so it makes sense we haven't really done too much with the armor, but we can do that now. Go another half hour or so here on stream. If there's anything you want to chat about, anything you want to hear about from me, now's a great time to ask because we are in the home stretch of the stream. We're going to keep going, but, you know, if there's anything go on your mind, anything you want to chit-chat about. Got a little quiet here in the chat, so... Oops. Oh, that thing just came right off, huh? Alright. Well, get this back on here. Is this head connected right? I think I gotta put some pressure on this head before I can slip on the shoulder. I remember this piece being annoying. There we go. Okay, so that went on. There we go. Cool, cool. How you feeling for your Hearthstone tournament this weekend? I missed the stream last night. Weekend, it was fun. I feel good about it. It is basically I'm gonna go see Captain Marvel, come back, and then join this tournament. I felt pretty good about what happens. Sorry, I'm burping, which is rude of me. I feel pretty good about it. We had some wins. A couple losses were just like completely like unavoidable. Like the cards just didn't come that would help us, or we were up against a style of deck that just wasn't gonna work out in our favor. So I was overall pretty happy. And then we like did a couple like for fun ones that had nothing to do with my decks that I won with, and that was just a nice feeling. Had a good little win record, but yeah, I'm not going in expecting to do well. I'm going in to have fun, and because I've never done a tournament before, so felt like a good time to give that a shot before there's a new meta with new cards and such. But yeah, I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a good time. A lot of changes to Hearthstone coming with the Year of the Dragon. Some new single-player content that seems okay, but not super interesting. I like that the single-player content you'll be able to spend gold to get, which is kind of interesting. Or also that they're bringing back some single-player content because it seemed like they might be done doing that. So, be interesting. And you get packs for completing it. I'm going to wait till that comes out. Usually I buy a few packs. I don't go hog wild. I don't pre-order like 50 packs anymore. I'm kind of done with that in my Hearthstone play. But I'll certainly buy some when it comes out, because I still enjoy it. Still enjoy playing the game, and I'll also like to wait to see what kind of decks people are putting together, and if anybody's making a fun deck that I want to copy. It's like, and then maybe I'll check out some wild stuff. I don't know. I mean, my favorite deck is going to be not the same. I wonder if there's a version of. Oh, Gallows Adler is now following. Are we talking decks? Yeah, we're talking a little bit of Hearthstone. I played last night because I'm in a tournament. I have a hybrid hunter deck, which is Quest Hunter mixed in with Zul'jin Spell Hunter. Kind of the best of both worlds. When it wins in a spectacular fashion, and it's fantastic. And when it loses, you're like, yep, that makes sense. I should not have won that. So yeah, okay. But it's fun to play. So I like that a lot. With Naturalized going, it is now, I guess we're only Mechathune. It's only going to be Hunter. Hunter's the only going to be Mechathune decks. Like, not Hunter. What am I saying? Hunter. because I was just talking about my hunter deck. The only deck you're gonna see doing Mechathune is gonna be Warlock, because it can still kind of do it. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Kimaris got a big old butt flap, says Ultron. Indeed. Kimaris, like, skirt is a big, like, thing that holds a bunch of weapons. In the space mode, it's more functional than it is in the ground mode. But yes, got a big old tail flap, basically, for storing stuff. For storing mines and all that. Oh, Gallows says, fair enough, I know nothing about Hearthstone. Okay, well, I thought you did. It's okay that you don't. Not some people don't know anything about it. But yeah, there's some changes coming, some of which I'm excited about, some of which I'm not as excited about. Um, that's all where I stole all my mines too. So, Gallows, I don't do any painting or marker work. I don't have a great hand for it. I got these big paws. When we started, I didn't even do much sticker work. I've been doing a lot more sticker work than I used to, mainly because it's we were doing some high grades and some smaller kits or some less detailed kits, and it was nice to throw in those stickers. It was almost like necessary. So I don't by default. I don't do any painting. I wouldn't be opposed to doing it in my free time, but definitely on stream, I'm not skilled enough to really do it. Board just gifted a tier 1 to Gallows. That's your 13th gift sub. Let's do a slow build up. You'll get there maybe one day. Yeah, I might. Let's throw the Bear Cave emote there in the chat. Thank Board for once again another gift sub. Enjoy your Bear Cave emote, Gallows. You're now a subscriber with a gift, which is rad. Thank you very much, Board. I appreciate that. Yeah, throwing up that Bear Cave emote. Indeed. And then we have the notification that, yeah, that rules. All right, so we got to put in some purple here. I love this purple. It doesn't read super great on the stream. My overhead, I think, does a better job of it, but it's a really striking purple. And I think once we add the silver accents to it, it's really gonna pop in a way that it'll be noticeable. All right, so this goes like this. We've got tiny little flaps here. Got to put these on. And I know these flaps like come up and down to show off these weird circles here on our kit. Show it there. Weird little circle friends. I don't know. I forget what that's for. But I remember it being important. All right. Well, as a miniature hobbyist, I'm excited to do some weathering, battle dam, etc. Oh, I love that. I'm keen on the RX-79. Yes. Oh, the Goof Custom. Hopefully Jam is going to message me whenever to get that Goof Custom. But that Goof Custom is one of my favorite builds we did on this stream. It looks so good. It's just a fantastic kit. If I was going to paint something, that might be one of them. Obviously, I would definitely do a master grade if I was going to do battle damage or weathering, or just lines, just to kind of make it look more like a manga interpretation of it. I've certainly always contemplated it. It's not a thing that I have enough trouble not messing up on a stream without the use of building sets here, or not of painting sets and stuff. So maybe someday, but I don't think so. Alright, so this got these in. Let's get the other side in as well. Oh, okay, that one went in pretty easy. I've been told it's heavy on that arm. Is it really bad? It was a little bit. It's a little that weapon, the shield weapon, the Gatling shield weapon, is pretty heavy. I would say without a stand, like you might need a plastic stand if you really want to do a lot of posing with it. But it is very cool. It's just that, yeah, it's not as it's not that it is a heavy weapon. Yeah, you're right. You heard right. Okay, and then this has got to go. This. Oops. Oh no. I definitely want to get this on as soon as possible because these things are just going to keep falling off. Board says, gotta run. Have a great night, everyone. Have fun with Hearthstone this weekend, Pat, and good luck. Thank you very much, Board. Talk to you soon. We'll be working on this kit, and then we'll do that Lego set, the dragon, after that. I do know that Ultron has got something for me in the mail coming at some point. And then I assume that I just reply to the message. Yes, never was supposed to. Yeah, Jam, just reply to the message that I sent you. It's just like a DM or any other kind of private message. Yeah, most people don't use Twitch Whispers, but it's easier for me because I can see it's somebody that follows me, and I don't know everybody's emails. So it is a little easier. As it's Gunpla, I'm guessing you can move the Gatling and go for more action poses. Yes, you can. Gallows, you have a lot of free reign. There's some options there. I mean, the Gatling in the shield is kind of like what a lot of people look for in that kit, so I can see why it's popular for posing. But yeah, you have some options. I ordered 5 of the of that Tony Chopper set where it's 5 small kits, and then you can combine all the kits to make one big Tony Chopper. I'm still waiting on 1 kit coming from Japan. I have the other 4. And when I have all 5, when it's appropriate, I probably will just build it when I can because I'm excited to put that together. So that is a thing to look forward to. It should be in a week, I think. Alright, so I gotta put these things don't want to stay on. I am loving this dry flip clip tech that Gunpla has. Yes. Come on out. I thought I could put this piece in first to hold them in place when these went in, but that is not the case. So this is our first very annoying step. I wish that I wasn't getting this at the end of it. I spent so many hours gluing things in hobbies. Yes. So Gallows, that is one of the first things that appealed to me about model kit building Bandai kits was the snapping in the 90s when I first saw Gundam Wing, because that was my introduction to the series. When I first saw Gundam Wing, and then later started watching G Gundam, and then went back to older Gundam series, and I started looking at kits. I was like, oh, there's a lot of cool shit you can do. Because I did plenty of gluing in my day and some wood assembly, but yeah, once I figured out that you could just snap stuff together, I was like, oh, I gotta get one of these. I remember my mom being very surprised when she came into the living room and I was assembling a model kit for the first time, because I hadn't done anything like that in years, and I was never a kid that built. I mean, I built Lego, but I never built models. So she was like, "Wait, what is this? What is this?" she was like, "Are you building Transformers?" Because that was her context. And like, you know, I will say, as far as context goes, asking me if I was building Transformers is pretty close. Pretty pretty good question. Pretty, pretty good question, Mom. But yeah, I remember just getting hooked on model kit building. Never watched any Gundam. Just ordered the 8th MS team to get a taste for it. Yeah. Yes. 8th MS is maybe not the best gun. It's certainly not the best Gundam that's out there, but it is a short series that gives you a broad overview of the themes that Gundam is interested and the stories that they are interested in telling. So for that reason, it is a good series to start with because you can kind of see if this is for you or not. Um, Gundam Wing makes it a little more shonen. They go for a little bit more of like focusing on the five teens and centering it on that. And it's still it's still got the themes that it has. It's a little bit of a different story. And then G Gundam just tells a completely different style of story and focuses on one-on-one battles and is also racist in its caricatures of other countries, and maybe isn't worth going back to. Turn A is fucking weird as hell. Zeta and Double Zeta are good. Arisophan, hello and welcome. Evening to you. Alright, so I got all our little pieces in. I'm now going to attach this part, and I'm going to hope that I can put this on without any of these falling out. Nope. Two of them fell out. Not all of them, only two. Three. This sucks. This part of the kit fucking blows. I don't like these at all. Alright, I got the top ones in. These vents are they're gonna look cool when I can get them all in and get them working, but right now they are annoying. So I am attempting to use tweezers to put them in position. But yeah, I can't do that with this thing attached at all. Right. But yeah, our next stream will be on Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm gonna hopefully be able to finish this chest assembly here. That's the goal anyway. Is to finish the chest piece here. These are really annoying. None of the reviews I looked at mentioned this part, so I bet that if I did this off stream, it would like be annoying, but I would just like get it done, and it wouldn't be the same kind of annoying. Because isn't that always the way? What the fuck? Come on. Alright, so that's in. Okay. I'm going to try to finish this before we wrap up our stream, but, because it would be annoying if I don't. Okay. I joined a stream earlier, and this dude was just heavily breathing into the mic. M4 and go. That's it. And I was like, hey, could you please move your mic a little? And he banned me. Well, M4 go, I don't know the specifics of it, but could be that that particular person was, the whole idea of their stream was talking, heavily breathing into a microphone. Now, that isn't to say that you weren't wronged by having them banned, by being banned for being like, hey, could you not do that? But it could be that they were tired of having people say that. I don't know. I don't know all the things, but I do know that unwarranted bans, or bans you feel are unwarranted, certainly do feel bad. Sometimes, people who troll, because we haven't banned a lot of people on this stream, but we have, on occasion, had to ban people. But those people were coming in to cause trouble and to get banned, because that is the thing they're into. So, in a way, I was giving them what they wanted, which was attention. But that's very rare that we've had to ban people. For the most part, people are just cool. Or they come in because they see Gunpla in the title, or a friend of mine retweeted that's, more famous on the internet than I am. And so they're like, oh, what's that? Or they know me from various things I do, but they're just not really interested in build streams. And then they're just like, oh, this isn't for me, and they move on. Yes. Yes, Hygarian. That could be. Alright, so let's try to attach this in a way that doesn't cause these little pieces to fall the fuck off. Alright. Nope, I'm definitely going to have to redo this. Oh well. I'll do it off stream. I think, yep, these are not on right. Whatever. This is where it's supposed to look eventually. Yeah, I think I put the bottom ones on the wrong side here. Yeah. Alright, well. Because the idea is that they pop up like this, and then you can see the things in the middle. I'll put them up here so you can see that. Yeah, these pop up and down, which is kind of cool. How far into this kit do you think I am? Hygarian, well, I think I'm about halfway done. We are going to wrap up in a minute or two, because we're just starting to do the armor part. So we have the whole frame done. We have to do the armor, and then we have to build weapons, but there's not that many weapons, really. The weapons are the lance and the shield and the blade, which sits in the shield. And then, yeah, and then we're done. So I think we'll finish this up on Saturday. The 1/100 scales, the full mechanic style are pretty easy to do. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to take this off stream, and I think I have to swap these two, and then that'll work. But we're going to call that there. That's the stream. Thank you very much for hanging out with me here. Hey, Dr. Jones. I'm going to take a photo of this kit, throw it up on the internet. But yeah, I'll be back on Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, building model kits, hanging out with you. Please consider coming back. Tell a friend, subscribe if you haven't. Thank you, Dr. Jones. I appreciate that. Thanks for hanging out with me, everybody. And I'll see you on Saturday for another build stream. And I'll be able to talk about Captain Marvel, which I'll have seen. And I'll talk about the tournament I'm playing in Hearthstone on Saturday. So bye-bye. Have a good night. And I'll see you soon.